Hello, it's Angela, and welcome back to Literature Science Alliance. And today I'm going to do a book tag because I haven't in a minute and I need a chill video because I just filmed a wrap up. And I don't know why, but those always drain me. So yeah, I was tagged by two people. I was tagged by The Nerdy Narrative and I was tagged by Geek on My Sleeve. So I figured, I guess I'll just do this tag finally. So let's just get into the prompts. I didn't prepare except for who I will tag. And even then, I didn't even check if they've had the tag, so real high level of preparedness here. Okay, do I read at home or everywhere? Okay, in a world outside of now, I actually read probably half the time on my commute into work. I live in Boston, we have the train and buses, my commute's like an hour each way, so yeah, it didn't matter if it was my Kindle or a book I got from the library, I would read on the train. That's just what I did. And then I'd read at home if I had time or if the book was good, but honestly, the majority was the train. Prompt 2, do you eat or drink while reading? Yeah, I don't have any rules against it. It's typically water just because that's what I, on average, drink. If I'm at work and the conference room doesn't have anyone in it yet, I will read while I eat my lunch. It's easier on my Kindle, but I'll do it with any book I have. I don't have any real rules, although if I'm at home and I'm eating, I'm typically watching TV or BookTube because that's what I do at home. So, yeah, that's it for that. Do I have a certain place at home for reading? I live in a one-bedroom apartment, so as long as it's not the floor, although I have read while stretching on the floor. I have my couch, which you guys see when I'm vlogging. It's kind of this futon that I always have in futon mode with a bunch of pillows. So that's one place. I also do have a chair that I bought from IKEA specifically to read in, and I sit there sometimes if I don't want to accidentally fall asleep, but it's really wherever. I mean, when you've been reading while standing in a train, nothing matters anymore. I want my boyfriend's balcony to be my reading place, but the weather is mediocre, and it makes me sad. Do I read one book or several at a time is the next one, and I think now because of BookTube, I will be reading more than one at a time, but I also have typically sometimes focused on one book at a time. I think it depends on the book, I think it depends on my mood. So typically nowadays I'm reading 2 books at once maybe, but the normal is one at a time. Number 5, can you just stop reading or do you have to stop after a certain number of pages or at the end of a chapter? I can just stop reading. I would prefer to end a chapter or end a break, like, some chapters have little breaks. That's the preference, but yeah, no, can stop whenever. The train stops when it stops. Yeah, most of my reading habits are based off trains. Number 6, how do you mark your spot? If it's a physical book with a bookmark, nothing fancy bookmark. I don't know if I have one. Yeah, here's one. A typical bookmark for me is this one. I've been using some of my nicer ones now that I've been home a lot, but this is my average bookmark because it's like a good thickness and it's free, and I get one every time I go to the bookstore, so if I lose it, it's not a big deal. I just like the height and the thickness. It's just a quality bookmark. Someone did their research. So that's what I use for physical. Obviously, with other stuff, you don't have to worry about it. 7, do you read out loud or silently in your head? Typically silently in my head, although I mentioned in a recent vlog that I actually read out loud a passage from This Is How You Lose the Time War because it was just so moving to me and I just didn't want it to go by too quickly. It was just such a moment that I wanted to sink in. Alright, 8, multitasking. Do you listen to music or TV while reading? I'm horrible at this. So, there are situations where I can. If there are sports on, I can read a book. Maybe, if I'm not invested, which, honestly, I live in New England. I'm not usually invested in New England sports except for hockey. So sometimes I can read a book then, depends on how engaging the book is. Music, can't have words. No words. Or else then all of a sudden instead of reading the words on the page, I'm listening to the words in my head. No. Sometimes I'll put on like a playlist to feel more ambiance, but honestly most of the time I prefer silence. Even like my neighbor's, like weird bass subwoofer will distract me and I can get through it, but it's not as much focus as if it was quiet. And number 9, do you read ahead or even skip pages? No. I don't know who answers this question yes, unless, of course, you're bored with the book and you're just trying to skim to the end. I feel like that's a different situation. If I'm reading a book, to read the book, I'm not doing those things. I would sooner DNF it than do those things, is I guess what I'm saying. And 10, break the spine or keep it like new. I do not think about these things. I guess my instinct is if I can, keep it like new. So, like, I feel like this is hardest with mass paperbacks. This is my mass paperback of Hyperion. I don't remember being absurdly careful with it, but you can see I didn't end up breaking the spine. But when I reread it, if I break the spine, will I be mad? No. I get more annoyed when, like, accidentally, like, the covers get bent, which invariably happens because it's a paperback, but I think that bothers me more than breaking the spine. I'll put you back in later. And what is the next one? Do you write in your books? No. When I first heard people did this, like actually wrote it, not on Post-its or anything like that, like actually wrote in their books, I was like shocked. Like, your books, do you? It's fine. But like my brain can't even fathom that. That just is, no, I don't do that. Unless, it's a book for school, but that's not what this tag's about, obviously. All right, and now I'm going to tag people, and like I said at the beginning, I didn't check to see if you've done this tag, but I'm doing it anyways, and I am sorry if you've already done it, and if you have, you should tell me that you have, so I should go watch it, because you're all my friends, and I've obviously missed something. So, newest friend is R from their channel. I don't know if their channel has a name, now that I think about it, but I will have an image here, but you should definitely check them out. They read a lot of good, diverse things. I love their energy. They're just wonderful. They also use they pronouns, so just like, don't misgender them. We don't do that here. And then we got Miss Richards Reads. She's just started putting out videos again, and I want to keep encouraging this, so Stephanie, you're tagged. And then we got Dear Good Book Reviews. I just watched one of her videos recently, and I don't know, she wanted more stuff to do, and I was like, well, I'm going to make this tag. Do you want to be tagged? And she's like, yeah. And we're both new here, so it's fun. And then the last one on my list is Brightness Katie Reads. And I don't think she's done it, because I think she's newer than me, potentially. Not sure. But we are, like, reading twins. Like, we've read almost the exact same, like, amount of adult fantasy books and love the same ones. Like, we both love N.K. Jemisin, we both love the Cosmeres. So, yeah, I just would love to know her reading habits if she has time and wants to do this tag. No pressure to any of you. And again, if you've done it, link yours down below so that other people can find them and so I can find them. And that's it for this one. Like it if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more. And otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.